you edited the wrong version. Yep, fully aware. You're an idiot. Yeah, I know, thanks. I mean, like, really stupid. Yep, got it. Like, your parents probably died disappointed in you. Okay, alright. You're so stupid, you make everything around you stupid. Alright. Like, even your dog is stupid.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down or when I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I have changed the name of the channel. I thought that Life Uncut was going to be good. I didn't look into it. Apparently, there's about 10,000 channels called Life Uncut. So, I came up with a new name. Welcome to Bugatti 79. And that, I think, is going to be permanent. Because it's two cars I love. Anyway, sorry it's been a while since I posted a video. There's reasons. I was trying to learn a new editing software, and I was pretty much putting all of my time into learning the editing software. And it's Cleveland, and it's been really snowy and really cold, and content just isn't a thing in Cleveland in the winter. It's difficult, to say the least, to find any content. So I'm actually working on all that, and when I find ways that I can make content, this being all new, like, you know, an experienced YouTuber would be like, oh, that's easy, I can find content. But I think even then, some of them would have to, like, really think about it, especially when in an area like this. I was going through some old pictures and stuff, right? And I got some old video of this really, really rare Volkswagen. It's not necessarily what you might think when you think rare Volkswagen. Now, there are other cars like this particular Volkswagen. However, this Volkswagen, if you take the same year or years of this Volkswagen versus the other years, and by the way, this is a base model Volkswagen. This base model Volkswagen actually holds a premium over something like a GTI of the time. Why would that be? Well, back in 1964, Volkswagen did an advertisement for the Volkswagen Beetle. And what they were touting was the fact that the Beetle was interchangeable parts. I wrote some notes, and on these notes, somewhere, on the Beetle ad, there was a green fender from a 1958 Beetle, a blue hood from a 1959 Beetle, a blue or beige fender from a 1964 Beetle, and a turquoise door from a 1962 Beetle. Now, some of you, after hearing that, already know where I'm going with this. I've seen this car twice in my life. The first time I saw it, it was driving by, and people were going, what? Why would anybody, what is wrong with these people? Not knowing that it wasn't those people that did it. I'm talking about the Harlequin Golf. Now, some of us would spell Harlequin a little different. You know, Harlquin or whatever. That's not how you spell it in German. See, in German, it's Harlekin. German, it's spelled with a K. So when you looked on a Harlequin Golf, the very few that actually said Harlequin were spelled like that. And very few of them actually said Harlequin. So in 1995, Volkswagen made a short run of Harlequin Polos, and it was only supposed to be a few, maybe 1,000. Well, it was pretty popular, and they ended up making something like 3,800 of these. Polo, if you know, is kind of the Golf's baby brother over in Europe. And there was a couple of years of Polo that I think are really cool because the looks is incredible. It looks so cool. And it's a much smaller car. It doesn't come in all-wheel drive, you know, because it's a very small package. Now, whether they know how many they made, I'm pretty sure that's up for debate. Was it 3,800? Was it 3,100? Nobody really knows. So, why are we talking about it now? Well, as of last year, aside from the fact that, of course, I wasn't ready to start a YouTube channel and just found out that you always start a YouTube channel when you're not ready to start a YouTube channel. Huh? What? Since it's been 25 years since the 1995 Volkswagen Harlequin Polo came out last year, you can officially import them now. You know, because we have this 25-year rule or law in the United States that says you can import a car that's 25 years or older, which is why you're starting to see a lot of R32 GTRs. And I think R34s are going to be coming up pretty soon, which is the one that I think everybody is waiting on. As soon as we can import the R34, that's the car you're going to see a lot of them get imported on. And I'm sure I'll be seeing one of those this year, possibly. Now, is it legal to be here? On a work visa, kind of. Let's go back to the Harlequin. So in 1995, when they created this Harlequin, right, there was supposed to be 1,000. Who knows how many they made? Between 3,100 and 3,800 or something, right? So it was super popular across Europe. They sold the crap out of those things. So they thought they would do a limited production run in the U.S. and they decided to make 264. 264 is right about 66 of each color. The way these cars were made was actually really cool. They built them in a solid color. It was the whole car, one solid color. And then when it got them down to the end of the production line, they took the body panels off and swapped them around on different cars. Now, this wasn't random. No, this is Germany. It's not going to be random. Everything in Germany has a purpose. Everything has an order. Everything is very, very German. I am German. I get it. So, German OCD gave them a map of what colors gets mixed with what. If the main color of the car was red, then, you know, you would put a pistachio green fender on this side, maybe the yellow fender on this side, you know, a blue hood possibly. Then if this car was pistachio green, you might put a red fender on this side and, you know, a blue fender on this side and, you know, whatever hood. So there were 4 colors that were done. These 4 colors, I had to write notes because I couldn't remember all this stuff right off the bat. And in fact, when you watch this video that I got, you'll know that I couldn't remember a lot of facts. I was so excited when I saw the car that I started rambling. And of course, I shot it with my cell phone. It's a terrible video, but it should be pretty cool. So anyway, the colors were pistachio green, Ginster yellow, tornado red, and Chagall blue. Chagall blue. Why do I have to have trouble with words? I don't. Fiver. Whatever. So anyway, those are the colors. Now, the cool part about this is that the green and the blue were colors that were never available in North America. The only cars that you could get those 2 colors on were Harlequins. Now, those cars weren't actually as popular as they thought they were going to be. So a lot of dealers ended up, if they had all 4 colors, they ended up swapping body panels and selling solid cars. And in some cases, they actually repainted the cars altogether because they sat on the lots for so long. So not all 264 cars actually sold. Now, fast forward to now, there's actually a registry for Harlequin Golfs. On that registry, I've heard different numbers between 107 and 118 still on the registry. The one that I have in the video, I'm not certain is on the registry, but it is an original. So one of the ways that you could tell the original is just look at the interior. On the interior, so if you know Golf, you always know that Golf has like a crazy interior. If you have a GTI, you have this ugly plaid interior, and I don't know why they picked that interior. That's something I should probably look up one day because it's a horrible, horrible interior. I don't know why they do it. But anyway, if you look at the interior, what you'll notice is little squares of all 4 colors on the seats. And that is a dead giveaway to a Harlequin Golf. Now, one of the things that the owners did a lot was, one, there was like this Momo steering wheel that they used to replace. And what they would do is they would paint each quadrant of the Momo steering wheel one of the colors. Now, sometimes people did it with their factory wheel as well. The car that you're going to see here is actually a factory wheel, factory steering wheel, and they did paint that. And I believe they got that from Europe. There were actually some from the factory that had a multicolor steering wheel. But the ones in Europe also had badging on the inside of the car and on the outside that said Harlequin. And I believe they also had the shift knob was actually done in some kind of colors. The numbers were done in weird colors or whatever. One of the other things that they did, I know on the Polos they did, was the center cap on the rims were one of each color, which is kind of neat. At least that's, I'm not going to say that I know that for a fact, but I will say that that's what I saw on YouTube. Everything on YouTube is true. Everything. So one of my questions was, what the fuck is a Harlequin? Why would you name it a Harlequin? That's the dumbest thing in the... I'm thinking of Harley Quinn, right? Probably all are. Harley Quinn, okay, so you got some crazy chick. You name this wild looking car that looks kind of crazy off after a crazy chick. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. This was in 1995. Harley Quinn wasn't really that popular. Okay, right. So where the hell did this come from? Well, Harlequin is actually a court jester from the king and queen era of, I think, Germany. And the colors that they wore suits with those 4 colors, those 4 crazy colors. If you Google, German Harlequin, you'll come up with a picture that has those 4 colors, right? And then it starts making sense. You're like, okay, so it's crazy, it's supposed to be fun, maybe it's supposed to make people laugh, but Germans don't know how to laugh. They don't have a sense of humor. Look at the Porsche. So why did they come up with this? I don't think anybody actually knows, but maybe it was their attempt at a sense of humor. That kind of failed. But it's Germany. So something else really cool is that the Harlequin, the original price of the Harlequin was actually like $13,000. I mean, this really is a base model car. The funny thing, right? And it got a premium over even like, I think, a Golf GTI. A Golf GTI back then may have been like, $11,000 or $12,000. But this Harlequin was 13 grand. 13 grand for a base model car. Base model. I mean, this thing, there was no power windows. You're probably lucky you had power steering and air conditioning, because this is 1995. I was 16. Pretty sure that not every car came with power steering. And, well, maybe they came with power steering by then. Yeah. Air conditioning, I guess I'm not that old. I sure feel like it. Air conditioning, though, like, air conditioning was a big thing. If they would, like, now you don't even see that in car ads anymore. Like, oh, this car has air conditioning. Back then, it was like, hey, this got air conditioning. When you went and bought a new car, you're like, it's got air conditioning. Yeah, I got it. I got the air conditioning. Because it wasn't a thing. It wasn't put on every single car, especially like a Golf. A Golf is like a little grocery getter. Like, that's a crap little car, unless you got like a GTI. But even the GTI back then, yeah, it was quick, it was fun, but I mean, you could get something with a V8 for maybe not the same price, but you get something a couple of years older with a V8 that could blow away a Golf GTI. So what's the point of a Golf GTI? I mean, it's kind of like the experience of the car, right? Every car drives different, so that's what you get. So the experience of a Harlequin is basically the same experience you would get if you put an engine on a shopping cart with a steering wheel. And that's pretty much the experience. And then you just put some crazy colored body panels on that shopping cart. Because that's basically what a 1995 Golf drives like. Now, you could get an automatic or you could get it manual. Either way, it still sucked because it was the base model Golf. And of course, you would have roll up and roll down windows, that thing you had to crank with your hand. Some of you may not have even ever seen one of those. You actually had to do this to roll your window down, and this to roll it back up. From the driver's side, passenger side was this way. Yeah, yeah. And to lock your doors, wasn't a button. You had to lock the door. You had to push the door lock down, pull it up. Push down and pull it up. And it didn't hide in the door. Okay? I know some of you are going, well, wait, if you push it down, how do you get it back up? Because it sticks out of the door like that far, so you could grab it and pull it up. Okay? Yeah. And with no little button. Lock. 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 I'm gonna grape upon. I'm gonna lock my doors. Fancy. So what's really cool about this is a car that you're gonna see like maybe once or twice in your entire life, if you ever see one. It is a super, super rare car. It is a Volkswagen. But the story of how I got this video, I took Ruger to the dog park, and when I took him to the dog park, they had I was playing around wrestling with Ruger. Just happened to see somebody pull up in one. My eyes got this big. The girl came in, she brought her dog, and I went right up to her and I go, hey, can I take a look at your car? And she looks at me kind of crazy, and she goes, it's real. I go, I know it's real. Can I take a look at it? And she's like, well, what do you mean you know it's real? I go, that's a Harlequin Golf. And she goes, hey, okay, so you do know what it is. And I go, yeah, of course I know what it is. I'm like 10 years older than you. I've seen one before. Like, I know what this car is, right? And she was kind of impressed that I knew it, but not impressed enough. Never mind. So Ruger's in the background, and he's looking on from the fence. And even he's looking at the car going, what is that? Because even dogs know that cars aren't supposed to look like that. But I've seen some pretty wild colors on dogs. I mean, Ruger's a brindle. So, anyway, I'd like you to see the video of the very rare Volkswagen Harlequin Golf. I'll see you back here in just a minute. So one of the things that you'll notice is the steering wheel on that Golf. While it is all four colors, it's not quite the same as the original steering wheel on there, and then somebody painted it, because again, these are just base model cars. They had a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine with about 115 horsepower and 122 pound-feet of torque. And you think, wow, that's a really slow car. In reality, it's really not that bad. You know, if you got that in a manual, back then you could probably get a manual to go to 60 a little faster than an automatic, because of course automatics in 1995 for 96 weren't very good. You know, the car weighed about 2,500 pounds, where if you look at a 2021 Golf base model, you're looking like 2,900 pounds. You do have 147 horsepower, but really that horsepower kind of makes up for the weight difference, and getting them to 60 pretty close. Of course, the 2021 model is going to be a little faster. You know, we have different transmissions, and the gearing's a little different. Everything's done a little bit differently. So now you have traction control and everything else. So of course the 2021 is going to make it to 60 faster. But the 1996 is probably going to be a lot more fun to drive. Even in a base model with just 115 horsepower, it's still going to be probably more fun to drive. I think the coolest part of that is the fact that you can see, one, you know what factory color, or what base model, or what base color was on the car just by looking at the roof. You can look at the roof, the A-pillars. There was another place, I don't remember. Hang on, I got one pulled up here. I think the rear quarters was maybe another spot that you could find it. I actually was able to find a Volkswagen Golf for sale. I don't know how old this ad is, but this is a 1996 Harlequin Golf. Mind you, it was only in 1996 that the Harlequin Golf was made. This ad is from 2018. Now, $10,500 for a at this time, a 22-year-old car. Not just a 22-year-old car, a base model Volkswagen GL with just a different color. Well, a bunch of different colors. That's kind of the cool thing though, right? It's the colors and the cool body panels that you end up paying the premium for. So maybe Stuttgart has a sense of humor. I still kind of doubt it. Now the registry, I actually pulled up the registry. I did find the Harlequin Registry. And the Harlequin that I saw, and as you guys see in that video, is actually pretty good condition. It actually looks really nice. To see one in that good a condition is actually really impressive, because I have a feeling that as the years went on, those cars probably weren't treated very nicely. I know in this registry, if you look, some of those cars are being used for like Napa Auto may have used them to run parts from their stores to the customer. It's a super cool car. I actually like it. I would love to see these cars make a comeback, and Volkswagen did, by the way, make another one here in 2021, and it was really just to showcase, you know, a Golf. It's just to show off the Golf and the colors and stuff that you can get. I think they should do it again. How cool would that be? Like, it's been 25 years. Last year was 25 years. Why not have a 25th anniversary, just small run of Harlequin Golfs? Would you buy one? Let me know in the comments down below if you would be willing to buy one of these Volkswagen Golfs, because I think it would be super cool. I would love to see them on the road again, and I kind of would want one. I mean, even if it is a base model. Oh, there's one for sale? Auburn Motor Sales. Oh, guys, there's one in Ontario. Look at that. Hey, Daily Driven Exotics, Damon, what color are you gonna paint your car? Bet you won't. I don't think you have the balls, Damon. I don't think you have the balls to do your Lambo in Harlequin colors. Even if it's a wrap, I don't think you have the testicular fortitude to do it. Damon. No balls. So anyway, I mean, put this in perspective. They made more Bugatti Veyrons than Harlequin Golfs. They've made more Chirons than Harlequin Golfs. That's how rare these cars are. And maybe if you're interested, you can convince one of the owners to sell you one. That'd be kind of neat. And there is a few of them up in Canada. So if you live in Canada there, you can maybe get you one from one of the people that own one there. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I hope you take in all these cool cars that you see, whether they're a super car that's hundreds of thousands of dollars or just a super rare car that wasn't too expensive at all. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please donate to your local animal shelter and adopt, don't shop. Be kind, stay positive.
You make me smile when I think of you.